Hi and welcome back to Jumpstart Your Confidence Parent Support Sessions. Today we're going to start with a little on communication with the younger kids. Communication, when I'm working with the older lot, the reason I'm really pushing this for parents with young kids is communication is what it's at. It is everything. If we know how to communicate with our kids and if they know how to communicate with us, we really are 3/4 of the way there. What I come across lately is a lot of kids saying, I wish I had a better relationship with my parents, I wish we could talk, I wish they could trust me, I wish they'd understand where I'm at. Really? They have to be able to feel they can come to us, they have to be able to feel they can trust us and we can trust them. Communication is a two-way street, and I think that's a lot of the time what we forget. So look, I'm going to start with the younger ones. So I'm talking here really probably age 2 up. Communication starts the minute that child is born. The way you touch them, the way you hold them, the way you look at them, the way your eyes connect, the sound of your voice, the security they feel. That's first and foremost. As they grow and they become a little bit older, all they want really is your attention. You are the number one, you will always be the number one. Now I'm talking father, mother, chief carer, whoever has that role in your home. They want to learn from you. Their number one job in life is to watch you, to look at you, to see how you behave, to see how you communicate with people, to see your humour, to understand your emotions. You know, they're not going to understand, they're going to see. They may see you scream or shout, they may see you fighting with each other, they may see you stand on a spider, they might see you hit another child, get angry, whatever it may be. It's like a television screen in their minds, they take it all in. Now, I'm not trying to freak anyone out here, but I just think we need to understand the reality that young kids, very young kids, take it all in. So if something has happened and if there's upset in the home for whatever reason, get down on the floor with them, get eye contact in there and just comfort them and try and help them to understand. Obviously they're not going to understand the situation, but they'll understand that it's okay now. When you're communicating, I suppose a lot of parents would say to me, especially if they're out of work, when they come home from work, they're a bit stressed, they're trying to get dinners, they're trying to sort other things out, but they've just picked the child up from creche, or there's an au pair there, or a childminder, and all the child wants is them. So the stress levels can rise innately in a very short period of time. Just try, maybe, give that child just that 5 or 10 minutes. Drop everything. Forget the shopping, forget the dinner, forget everything. Give them the 5 or 10 minutes and then say, right, now it's time for mummy or daddy or whoever to go sort things out in the kitchen or get the dinner. We'll chat later. I guarantee you it will take a little bit of that stress out. Because you have to remember, in their little world, all they're waiting for all day is for that king person in their life to walk through that door so they can show them how much they love them. When they get a bit older and they come in from play school or they come in from primary and they have something to show you. Now look, I've been here 1,000 times, you're at the sink, you're stressed, the day's been really busy and they're waving some piece of paper in their hands and you might be saying, oh whatever, I'll do it in a minute. It's very well to go down again and their eye contact and say, mummy's really busy or daddy's really busy, come back and we'll do it in a minute, or take that 10 seconds just to acknowledge what they're showing you, because to them it is hugely important. And all these little things is how we do keep the lines of communication open. If a child is shunted away time after time, they will stop coming. If they're trying to communicate with you and they're on and you're on your phone, or you're on the laptop, or you're half watching TV, or you're half doing the dinner and half listening to them, just think if it was the other way around, or if you were trying to speak to your parent or someone who really mattered to you and that was the reaction you got. Kind of 2-second response, a bit of interest, but really you know their interest is on something else. Just give it a bit of thought. I'm not saying sit on the floor for hours on end, because I know that is ridiculous. But I am saying, if your child, the most important person in your world, wants to show you something that's important to them, wants to communicate something to you, give them that minute or two. That's all it's going to be. look on at us, I suppose, to learn everything. They're learning language, they're learning behaviour, they're learning emotion, they're learning interactions with other people, they're learning everything. So we have to be a little bit careful of the way we're behaving in front of them. I would say do try, especially initially when they're small, if there's an argument or a bit of shouting or whatever going on in the house, which I know is very normal. When they're very little, as I said earlier, just comfort them. As they get older, and I see this a lot with my 8 to 10s, as they get older, we do freak them out. If we don't age appropriately, explain to them what might be going on in the house or what might be going on in the argument, they will make up their own ending, and it's usually quite dramatic, it seems like kids. So just if you know that they've listened, or they've heard, or they've witnessed something that may rock their security and rock their little world, please just take that minute or two to have a chat with them and sort it out. I don't know how many times parents would say to me, they can't hear us, yeah, we're going through a rough patch, or so-and-so in the house is driving us all nuts, we're constantly fighting, but the little ones don't hear, they're upstairs. Please don't think that. They are inherently nosy. They sit on the banisters, they crawl outside the doors, they listen, they want to hear, they need to know what's going on in their little world. So just try and age appropriately communicate to them what may or may not be happening. On a happy note, communication can take place in so many different ways. Colouring, playing games, spending time together, reading, Lego. You know, people are giving out so much about technology at the moment, and I know there are 1,000 positives. And with the smallies, huge positives. There's loads of learning, like in the days of Barney and maybe the Rosie and Jim and the programs that were there when my kids were growing up. I honestly think there was an awful lot of learning about behaviour and friendships and the way and counting and letters and everything else. And the same goes for technology. Of course, there's loads of learning. But just be careful on the length of time that they're sitting in front of that iPad, that tablet, that screen, because they do tend to zone out of reality. Just watch them. If your kids are into, whether it's Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, whether it is, I actually really am not up with it, what the smallies are looking at the moment, but you'll know your top 2 or 3 things that your kids love. If they're looking at it, you'll see yourself how they zone out so fast. Now, zoning out for a little while we do the dinner or while we need a break, we've all done it, that's life, that's normal. But zoning out for 3, 4, 5 hours a day, we really are doing them a little justice. They're missing out on really important developmental skills here, guys, whether that's throwing the Lego on the floor and spending 5 or 10 minutes helping them learn how to use it. You'll get hours out of it later where they'll do it themselves. Spend the time teaching them how to colour. I don't mean inside lines, obviously, just how to get a pencil and colouring in a safe place where they can actually just explore. Painting, I know, preferably outside, but wherever possible, if you have an area that's safe for them to let off, let them off. Creativity is huge. It really helps to help them expel emotions, show emotions. It helps them develop so many different skills that they need to develop. So don't underestimate all these things that we've all grown up with. They need them. And they communicate a lot of the time through them, through drawings, through making things in Lego, Play-Doh, whatever it may be. Help them to develop in the way they need to develop. When it comes to communicating with other kids, I think maybe between the ages of kids in play school, which most of them are now, obviously this is a good starting point for them because they do understand then how to play with other kids and communicate with other kids. Kids who don't, who go straight into primary school without that, can find it difficult if they haven't siblings, cousins, neighbours that they're used to learning how to win, how to lose, how to come first, how not to come first, how to get their way, how not to get their way. And that's all learning. And there will be tantrums and there will be giving out, but they need to learn. And we need to put them in the situations that they will learn. So communication isn't only about the way we communicate with them and they communicate with us, although that's massively important. It's also the way they learn how to communicate with others, and that's equally important. So just take a bit of thought, maybe just see, are my kids or is my child spending enough time on the basics in learning, you know, what they learn from Lego, drawing, is eye coordination, hand coordination, putting things together, using their imagination. it's endless. It's absolutely endless. So really make sure that they are spending time off screen and physically doing things that help them coordinate eye-hand movement. Now whether that's sport or art or dancing or whatever it may be, they need it to develop properly. And there's millions of articles done on this and how kids are losing out developmentally because of screens. I can repeat myself 1,000 times, I'm not anti them at all, and I get how we need a break, but we have to remember the importance of helping our kids to develop the way they need to develop. And showing them that they can always communicate with us in a safe, trusting way.